terrible. Let's wait. Let's get a few of you in here. Let's get a few of you in. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Right. I think we're live. Am I live? Am I live? People, let me know in the chat if I'm live, because usually I've got people in the chat by now, but at this moment in time, not really. There we go. What's happening? Here we go. Lose tomorrow and Champions League talk is over. However, win, however, and it's well on. Yeah, I mean, listen, if we win tomorrow, we go within, is it 2 points of Nottingham Forest that we would go tomorrow if we were to win? So, yeah, that's exciting. But down to 6th isn't great, and it could be down to... or we could go back up, but then we could go back down by the time we play Legia Warsaw, a match that I'm going to be at Stamford Bridge, because obviously Newcastle have that midweek game. But let's hope that tomorrow Man United do the business over Newcastle, and then yeah, we can hope that Chelsea progress. And I honestly do think so. I'll just give you a bit of clarity. Few people here on the TikTok. Billy Tim, thank you very much, bro. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to read both chats at once. I haven't got a game that I need to focus on, so I should be able to get to quite a lot of you guys. But I hope you're having a good weekend. The reason I'm doing a live right now is because I'm not going to be able to do a live tomorrow. I will obviously get a post-match review done after the Ipswich game, but the reason I'm not going to be able to do a live tomorrow is the fucking blackout. Chelsea aren't being shown on TV. I don't think it's part of the 3 p.m. blackout, but you know what I'm on about. Chelsea aren't going to be being shown on TV tomorrow. So basically, it'd be a case of getting a dodgy stream. Now, obviously, some people, maybe I'm included in this, maybe I'm not, may have Fire Sticks. I don't know. You know, do I own a Fire Stick or do I just have a remote? I don't know. But the problem is the TV's behind me, right? And I'm not a DIY man, okay? I am not the man to put up some shelves for you. So, because, yeah, I'm getting just copper Fire Stick. I've obviously got a Fire Stick, allegedly, right? But I'm not moving the TV over to this wall. The TV's behind me. And if I'm watching it on a stream, sometimes, man, like, I've been watching it on TNT Sports through the app. I've been buying the Sky Sports Day Pass through the app so that I can have my phone here and I can watch the game, do the watch along and watch the chat here, right? And even sometimes when I'm getting it off fucking Sky Sports, TNT Sports, whatever it is, even sometimes I'm delayed by like a minute compared to people in the chat. So, what the hell? Permanent ban. Notification. That is not a notification. That is an account called notification. Fake. You fucking faker. Fuck off. Anyway, right? So basically, I don't want to be doing a live watch along for a game where I'm going to be like fucking 4 or 5 minutes behind everyone else. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then I don't want to look at the chat and whatnot. So, yeah, it's just one of them. Let's start reading out some of the YouTube chats. I'll give a shout out to a few people. Thomas O'Donoghue. Giannis, I believe. Fred Cox. What's happening? Hamish. Joey, do you think Real will come back against Arsenal? Do you know what? I don't. I don't think Real Madrid will come back against Arsenal. Moody Mona, what is your starting team for tomorrow, Joey? I would go Sanchez, Reece James right back, centre back partnership of Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwell. I'd go Cucurella at left back, although he's gonna more so just be playing at left wherever he wants, whenever he wants, because he is the fucking man. And then it would obviously be the Caicedo Enzo pivot, Cole Palmer in the 10. I'd like to see him playing off the back of Nicholas Jackson. One side Madueke, the other side Pedro Neto. Very simple. It suits itself, doesn't it? Is this an Arsenal watch-along? No. This is not an Arsenal watch-along. What's my score prediction? My score prediction for tomorrow is probably like 3-0. What is it? 6 clean sheets in 8 games. I believe it is. And we haven't conceded a goal from open play in 8 games, which is mad. Lots of chats coming in here, people. I will try and get to you if you want me to 100% read out your question and give you a shout out. Send in a super chat. I'll make sure I do it. Right. What's happened to Misha? Mudryk, it looks like he's serving a silent ban tomorrow. Tomorrow at the moment. Tomorrow we go... what is it? Tomorrow we go 1 point behind Forest. Yeah. The convo, my guy. I love your work. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. Fight cancelled, which one? Yeah, do you know what? I put fight cancelled in the title. I should have put fight news. I should have put fight rescheduled. I'll basically just let you lot know what is going on with the whole Misfits situation. So, obviously, I trained for the fight. I completed camp, finished camp. I'd finished sparring. I probably had maybe one more set of sprints to do, something like that. But I was pissing the sprints. They were easy work for me, to be honest. So, yeah, I was in a good place, good situation. And I was really, really looking forward to it. Proper looking forward to just putting on a performance. I knew deep down in myself that I was going to look fucking mustard in this fight. The way I was looking in the gym, I really knew that I was going to look really, really good in this fight. And that doesn't mean I'm not still going to. But obviously with the event being pushed back, the KSI event was pushed back before that. And it just means that there's a bit more uncertainty, if I'm being completely honest. And that's just in my mind, by the way. The Misfits guys, it's happening. You know what I mean? It's happening. Full steam ahead. I've been in contact with Wasserman, who sort out Misfits, and they're sorting bits and pieces out now. So, yeah, the fight's happening. Yeah. Someone asked the best place to have a drink. I like to have a drink in the Butcher's Hook when I go to a Chelsea game. Does Josh remind you of James Corden? No, not at all. Not at all. Do you watch UFC? Well, I'll watch Chandler against or Chandler, however you say it, against Paddy the Baddy. I'll watch that. But I'm like a casual MMA fan, very, very casual. There was a point, right, when so there was a UFC event out in Saudi Arabia, and we were booked for it. The Pain Game were booked for it, and I said to Brian, I remember we were in Saudi at the time when we got the news that we were being booked for this Pain Game event, which was going to be a UFC event. It was, what was the headline? The headline pulled out. It was it Makhmadov again. I can't remember his name. Oh, name escapes me. But he's the one that ended up carrying on fighting. The guy with good hands. I can't remember his name. Anyway, Hamzat. That's it. Yeah, who was he supposed to fight? He pulled out. But who was the guy that he was supposed to fight? It will come to me in a second. It will come to me. You're a headhunter casual. No. I mean, there are no headhunters no more. Robert. Was it Robert Whittaker? Robert Whittaker. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Robert Whittaker. So we got booked to do that event. But then Brian got really ill. And we didn't end up going. So I sat there and I did so much research on MMA, watched so much MMA. But yeah, it was what it was. We didn't end up doing it. So it just didn't happen. Do you think we need to sign a left winger as a replacement for Sancho? Well, firstly, that's assuming that we don't sign Jadon Sancho. Knowing our ownership, if it's between signing him for 25 mil or sending him back for 5 mil, I think our ownership just do weird shit at times. And I think that it wouldn't surprise me if we signed him to try and flip him, which is mad. Hamish with the £9.99 super chat. Big up, Hamish. Thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate that. Obviously, as I say, the super chats, I'll make sure that they are read out straight away. And with the super chats, if you're new around here, if you're up part of the hardcore, you're a fully fledged part of the hardcore, member of the hardcore, you'll know that I've got a rule with the super chats. And there is one rule only, and that is that you can ask me anything, and I will give you an answer of some form. So you can ask me anything. Hamish, wrote, favourite content creator, bro. You and Josh are banging it on the other channel too. Me and the missus love it, bro. Thank you for making it. The stories are class too. Up the fucking Chels. Up the Hamish. Thank you very much, bro. And you know what, right? I had a 99.3% male audience on the Joey Knight podcast on the Chelsea channel, the one that I'm live from right now. On the Joey and Josh channel, it's like 70-30 or something like that. So I think we're getting way more of a female audience on the true crime stuff. And I think we're very much going in the direction of the true crime stuff. So people in here, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're liking the true crime stuff off the Joey and Josh channel. But Hamish, thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate that. That's very generous of you. And I hope you have a good weekend, brother. Thank you very much. Let's have a little look at the TikTok, because I'm live off there at the moment too. Thank you very much for everyone sending in these gifter badges. I don't know what they mean. Are they money? I don't know what they mean, but thank you for sending them in if they are money. God knows. Are Forest going to drop out of the top 5? No, I don't believe they do. Let's just check the Arsenal score right now. The thing is, the Arsenal score is irrelevant. It doesn't really matter to us. Let's check it. 0-0. So, obviously, look, Aston Villa smashing Southampton. That's not good news for us. That's really not good news for us. I keep getting asked in this chat here, what do I think of Atletico Madrid? Don't mind them. Now, Forest dropping points to Everton. I said that I fancied Forest, but an Everton win wouldn't surprise me. And that, my friend, is the epiphany of sitting on the fence, isn't it? But ultimately, I suppose what I was trying to say is a game that could go either way, you know? I know how brilliant Forest have been. You look at the league table and you'd think, well, hold on, there should be huge favourites here. But the way I looked at it is Everton have been resurgent under David Moyes. And even in the patch that they've had where they've not been winning games, they've not been losing games. And that's something that they probably would have been. So, Joey, would you best Mike Tyson in a fight? No chance. I wouldn't face Mike Tyson. in a fight. I think I'm about the same height, maybe 2 inches smaller than Mike Tyson. Obviously, he's way heavier than me. But yeah, I wouldn't face Mike Tyson in a fight. Thoughts on Reading FC? Well, I've heard that they might go out of business, and I hope that doesn't happen. But it was against Reading that Peter Cech picked up the head injury. So, got to back old Peter Cech and say that, you know, I'm not a massive fan of Reading. Although Reading, David Brent was from the Reading/Slough area, and I've got a lot of love for him. So, yeah. Females love the true crime content. They do, yeah. The Maddie McCann 2 vids were elite. The Jay Slater one wasn't as good for me personally. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the honest feedback. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the Jay Slater one was quite good, and it got a lot of views, and on TikTok especially, it did like all in. I think those clips have done so far about 3 million views, 4 million views in total, maybe 3.5, something like that. So it did well. Brighton draw to Leicester. Brighton aren't really on Chelsea's radar at this moment in time. I really think it's like Chelsea, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Man City, and maybe after today's result, Nottingham Forest, that are all battling out for those, let's call it, 3 spots. So, sorry, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Man City, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, 2 are going to miss out. Who are the 2? I don't know. I can't give you the answer. I mean, if you look at the form table right now, I think that only Aston Villa and Newcastle are in better form than us at the moment. Man City in the form table aren't in better form than us, but we all know that they've got the pedigree. Big fan of the Andrew Gosden vid. Proper weird case. Have a feeling he's still out there somewhere. Harrison, if you've watched that video, that means you are a member of the Joey and Josh channel. So thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate that. I have a feeling he's not out there somewhere, Andrew Gosden. I have a feeling that he was abducted. Was in Tenerife when the J stuff happened. Seemed like no one cared, but was so big back in the UK. Yeah, I was in Tenerife about 5 days before he flew out there, I believe. So yeah, I was in Tenerife a few days before, and then yeah, I've been in Tenerife since. But why would people make a huge deal of it over there? Because life has to go on, and business, more importantly, tourism, has to go on. So you'd imagine that they would want that just swept under the rug as soon as possible, really. Let's have a little look. Could you make a video investigating P. Diddy? Yeah, I could. Yeah, definitely. People, let me know, true crime wise, what sort of stuff you want to see, what cases you want to see covered, more importantly. If Maresca finishes worse than Poch does he get the sack? No, probably not, in my opinion. And that's what you got to remember is I didn't agree with Poch getting the sack. So it's not to go, well, hold on, if Poch got the sack for that, then Maresca should if he finishes worse and we've spent more money and whatever. I didn't agree with Poch getting the sack, mate. I honestly didn't. I think with Pochettino at the wheel, right, we would have come probably third this season. I think that's realistic. I think we would have come third this season with Pochettino at the wheel. Don't know, maybe fourth. But we would have been guaranteed top 4 had we have had Pochettino. Now, does that mean that I rate Pochettino higher than Enzo Maresca? Well, on accolades, I have to. because Pochettino has reached the Champions League final. Pochettino has won a title in a one-horse race in top 5 league in terms of the French league. But Pochettino has done more stuff, if you know what I mean. But yeah, there you go. Ian Hutchinson, Peter Osgood, Charlie Cook. What a team. Now, I don't know if you know this. Hold on. Pritzpal, I believe. I don't know if you know this, but out of those that you just named, Peter Osgood and Charlie Cook, I know both of them. Well, I mean, obviously, past now, Peter Osgood. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is my dad is an author, and he wrote both of their autobiographies. So Peter Osgood's autobiography, my dad wrote. That book is buried underneath the statue of Peter Osgood outside the ground. And Charlie Cook, my dad also wrote his autobiography. So it's mad, yeah, it's mad. Like mine and my dad's like lives, right? Obviously, my dad's way more so than myself because, say for example, my dad growing up a Chelsea fan, watching Chelsea his whole life, following them up and down the country, sometimes out of the country, you know. He was at the Champions League final, everything, right, when I was a kid. So, yeah. My dad growing up watching Chelsea and probably idolising Peter Osgood is the same as him writing his autobiography is kind of the same as me not even doing a podcast, having a TV show with John Terry or something like that ran for a season, or Frank Lampard. That's what it would be like. Do you know what I mean? So, like, when I say it's weird that mine and my dad's paths have like gone in a similar way, I more mean like obviously I've met and interviewed Joe Cole a couple of times now since doing podcasting. But yeah, I more mean in a way of like my dad wrote books and then he ended up writing some of those books. So yeah. Right, and getting asked this a million times. Joey, rank 1 to 5. Fofana, Colwell, Badiashile, Disasi, Adarabioyo. Why would I rank Disasi in there? I rank Chalobah in there. I rank Chalobah 1 to 5. So 5 worst out of the lot of them. And this is harsh because I think they're all decent. But at number 5, I would have to put Badiashile, although I think he's massively improved this season on what I saw last season. At number 4, I would put Tosin. At number... do you know what? If he was fit and available and on the pitch every week, he'd be number 1. But because of the amount of injuries, at number... No, go. Do you know what? At number 3, I'd rate Levi Colwell at this moment in time. At number 2, I would rate Wesley Fofana. And at number 1, I would rate Trevor Chalobah. Yeah. Sorry, just having a look at the chat now. Who do I think KSI fights next? From Mohammed. I've got no idea. Maybe... Do you know what wouldn't surprise me? Ricky Hatton. Because I saw that name mentioned when KSI said about dream opponents. And Ricky Hatton only about 2 years ago had like an exhibition fight, didn't he? So that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I think we need to give some time to Maresca, because if we change the coach too many times, we don't go anywhere. Exactly. It's the exact same reason, the exact same logic why I believed we needed to give more time to Mauricio Pochettino and why I did not want Mauricio Pochettino sacked. But it is what it is. It really is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be sacking Enzo Maresca at the end of the season if we finish 6th. I wouldn't. Unless old Carlo Ancelotti wants to come back. Whatever I said, whatever I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. What kind of manager do Man United need? They've got Ruben Amorim. I just stick with him. Listen, a tradesman is only as good as the tools he has to work with. Give Ruben Amorim a little bit of time. And I'm a Man United hater to a degree. I'm supporting them tomorrow. I want them to take points off Newcastle. Are you in the pain game covering Eubank against Ben? I'm buzzing for it. Feeling Ben stops him on the ropes. Big shout, Freddie. Yes, me and the pain game will be covering it. Yep. And yeah, part of me feels as the fight draws closer, like I can see a Conor Ben stoppage. Part of me feels, well, not part of me. I feel like I want Eubank Jr. to win. I really do. I feel like I want Eubank Jr. to win. Yeah. Thoughts on the match and Onana situation? I thought it was funny. Onana can't talk to Matic. Not when it comes to silverware. Big up, Joey. Tomorrow's game is now peak, especially when Forest losing, Villa and City win. If we don't beat Ipswich, I'm sorry, Maresca has to go. It will be criminal. So it's a big shout. It's a big shout. Yeah, a few people thinking that Eubank does it. Eubank gets the job done. What do you think about Mudryk? I think we would have been using him. I definitely think we would have been using him a lot more had we, or had he not had the ban. So yeah, I do think we would have been getting more use out of him. I still don't think he's a starter. But with the injuries we've had out on that side, I think we would have been using him, especially in the Conference League, by the way. But like, can I say something? And it might upset a few of you. It might please a few of you, but it might upset a few of you. Mudryk would have been starting in the Conference League. There's no way that we bring a player in for 72 million, whether or not it was a player that Enzo Maresca signed himself, wanted himself. There's no way we bring him in on decent wages by our wage structure as well, and don't start him in matches when we have the opportunity to. The Premier League, yeah, he's just not good enough to make the first team. But in the Conference League, I think, yeah, he would have been starting, and he was playing really well in the Conference League, picking up form, looking like he was getting better. So I was glad to see him gaining momentum in the Conference League. But here's where I might upset a few of you, and I'm going to caveat it. I'm kind of happy that we're seeing Tyreek George ahead of him, instead of him. I'm not happy that Mudryk's banned, but every cloud has a silver lining, and this silver lining might be bigger than the cloud, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, Tyreek George might go on to be better than Mudryk might go on to be. Because at the minute, I don't know. What do you lot think? Who would you start if both were fit and available, and you had to start one of them on the left wing? So you've not got the option of Neto, Sancho over there, whatever. You've got to start one of them on the left wing. Tyreek George or Mykhailo Mudryk. Chat, let me know. Jordan Bailey, what's happening, bro? Yeah, man. I'm good. Today's fight day. So, better get ready for it. No, obviously today was supposed to be fight day. So, yeah, it's one of them, man. One of them. But so when the fight got cancelled, yeah, obviously I see Jordan. I see you that day. Was it cancelled on the day of your brother's funeral? At the wake? Was it cancelled then? I think it was. I had about 10 pints there, and I was doing shots there. Everyone was fucked, weren't they? But yeah, anyway. The day it got cancelled, and it got announced it got cancelled, from then till Sunday, I probably had, I don't know, 20 pints, 3 McDonald's breakfasts, a barbecue, and yeah, eating loads of shit, whatever. Just lived a bit shit for a few days, and I I didn't train in that time at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. And then since Monday, got back on it. Sprints on Monday, sparring on Tuesday. We were making love by Wednesday. And on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. Wednesday, what did I do? Fuck knows, can't remember. Thursday was with Joe. Friday, done Saint, can't remember. And then today went David Lloyd's and did some sprints. So I'm right back on it, man. I'm there where I need to be. So yeah, it's all good stuff. A lot of people were sort of voting for Mudryk to start. I would say just as many, maybe a little bit less, were voting for Tyreek George. Gildo! There is only one Gildo on this planet, so I know it's you. And I know it's you because it's Gildo H anyway. But Gildo, what you doing, mate? Seriously, what you doing with your life? It's been a long time since you've come and seen me. You need to come over, mate. Or pack in the barber him and come to work for the big dog. I've given you the chance, Gildo. I've given you the chance a few times. But no, I'm joking. Yeah, in good spirits, bruv. It's all, listen, right? So Gildo, chat. This is someone that knows me personally. It's a friend of mine, right? And he'll be able to share this experience with me, right? So, I believe it was Gildo I was talking to, and I was PTing. So before I did this, what you lot know me for, I used to be a personal trainer. I used to box on the unlicensed scene, and I used to earn about, I don't know, it would work out, if I evened it all out, at about a grand or two a fight, right? And that's because I was a good ticket seller. I could always guarantee I'd sell like 100 tickets. You're getting like £10 a ticket, that's a grand. And then I'd have a couple of people that would sponsor to be on my shorts because it was on TV, but it wasn't like on the zone, do you know what I mean, being watched by millions. It was just on a smaller platform, Eurosport or something. So you get a little bit of money to sponsor you on your shorts and stuff like that. So I was earning, I don't know, a little bit of money for fighting, but I wasn't fighting that regular. I was fighting like twice a year. And then I was PTing. And COVID hit, right? And COVID absolutely killed my business. It ruined the PT industry. So I went from making, and I'll just be clear and transparent with you, like, I don't even mind, like, literally do not care at all. I would never talk about finances now. I wouldn't be doing that now. You'll never hear me talk about finances now. But that's why I'm so grateful, and that's why I'm telling this story, right, of being in high spirits, because I can talk about finances back then. I went from a PT that used to make probably like $3,000 a month or something like that. That's what, 36 grand a year. After you paid tax on that, you're clearing what, 27-ish or something like that. So it was like average wage, yeah, average salary. But at the same time, I was living with my parents. I hadn't moved out. I didn't have a daughter and stuff like that. So I was doing fine. Right? Then COVID hits. And all of a sudden, I've got to take fuck knows how long after work. And I wasn't on furlough. You can probably guess reasons why I wasn't on furlough, but I wasn't on furlough. So I was making no money for ages. I was really depressed. My nan died, loads of shit, and I was really depressed. And then PT came back, but the industry had been hit hard. And, like, I never raised people's prices. So, like, I didn't go from being a £30 an hour PT to all of a sudden it's come back and I'm like, no, 40s, 45s or whatever. I didn't do that. I just remained at £30. So, after COVID, I came back and to PTing, to working, doing PTing, and I found out that I had a daughter on the way, and I found out that the industry, my business, had been hit so hard that I went from earning like £3,000 a month to earning like, honestly, bruv, about 800 quid a month. Mate, imagine this, you're earning 800 quid a month. What's that? 200 quid a week. And then you have a daughter. You know what I mean? I think my daughter was 2 and a bit by the time I boxed on Misfits. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, then I'm not fighting. I had retired from like unlicensed boxing. I was 10-0. I had like retired from it, and it's a long story, I know, but I remember chatting, and I believe it was with Gildo, and I'd started the podcast at the time, and it had been going a few months, and I kept like going viral on Instagram and TikTok, but there was no money in that. There was no creative scheme on TikTok at that time, so the money was just like non-existent really from TikTok. Once the creative scheme came in, as Gildo actually knows, the money got quite good, but the money was non-existent from TikTok at the time. There was no money on Instagram, so I was still PTing whilst trying to do the podcasting, and I was PTing at the same time. This is mad, isn't it? This is mad. I was PTing at the same time as I was going to record the kickoff and stuff like that, and being on all these like random shows and going up and meeting Rio Ferdinand and doing shows with Anton Ferdinand and Joel Bayer and God knows what not, but I'm still holding pads doing boxing in a shed at my mum's, right? So, because of that, and because of where I feel like I'm at now, it's like, like this week's been a hit for me. I see Jordan Bailey write it in there saying it was the day of the funeral. I could see it's bugging you, which, yeah, it was, but at the same time, let's put things into perspective, mate. It was one of my best mates' funerals, brother's funerals. So I was trying to make sure I was in as high spirits as I could, because you can't be rocking up at a funeral and feeling sorry for yourself because a boxing fight got cancelled. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was bugging me that day. But yeah, like either way, I remember chatting with Gildo, who was a friend of mine, and we used to do a bit of boxing together. And I always used to box and PT and box, like keeping fit in between, even though I had like retired. And I remember saying to him, I might just fuck all this off, man. All this podcast stuff is taking up a lot of my time. It's earning me fuck all money and whatnot. And yeah, I think within about 2 months of that, Brian said to me, do you want to box on Misfits? Because it came from us sitting down and watching the KSI against Tommy Fury card, and basically on it just sent Galaxy, thank you on it. Basically, we was watching the Tommy Fury against KSI card, and Dean the Great was fighting Walid Sharks, right? And obviously, like, I'd known Brian like months by then, and I had told him that I had boxed on the unlicensed scene and whatnot, and he knew my record. He knew I was 10-0, and he had, I think Brian had seen bits of me boxing. I think he had. So I think he knew I was decent, but I don't think he knew like whether I wanted to fight, because I wasn't like mentioning wanting to fight. I never mentioned wanting to box on Misfits, and I told him I retired from boxing basically because my missus got pregnant, I had a daughter, and boxing weren't paying the bills. Do you know what I mean? It was more expensive than it was, because I just said I used to earn like $2,000 a fight on the unlicensed scene. You'd spend more than that on physio and massage and training fees and whatnot. You're having to pay for your training back then. So either way, we was watching this card. Dean the Great is fighting Walid Sharks, and I said I'd fucking smash both of these two. And he went, would ya? And I was like, what, Dean and Walid? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, of course I would. Like, if I boxed them boys, I beat boys better than them on the unlicensed scene. And that's when I really started getting into it with Brian. And I was like, I beat a fucking ABA finalist. Like, to get to the finals of the ABAs, yeah, I think he got to it 2 years running as well. I think the fella got to it as a junior and as a senior, and they were like the year after each other, which is hard to do. So I said, like, I fucking beat an ABA finalist on the unlicensed scene. Like, I beat boys of loads of fights and stuff like that. These boys have had way less fights than people I've beaten. And then I also started saying about this Marcus Stevenson that I boxed. I said, you know that Adam Salah, who like people in the Misfit scene consider quite good? And they was like, Brian was like, yeah. I said, you do realise I completely schooled a fella that boxed him, and then like 2 weeks later he boxed Adam Salah and he dropped Adam Salah like a sack of shit in the first round. I was like, that's the level I'm at in comparison, yeah. So yeah, then Brian was like, we got to get you on Misfits. And I was like, I'll be up for it. Like, do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. I'm PTing. I end up getting on Misfits. And then, yeah, my life changed from there. But that is why when things like this happen, of course, I can be all in my feelings for a day or two or whatnot. But that's why I can't get too down. Do you know what I mean? Because I think back a couple of years ago, a year and 8 months ago or whatever, I was in a shed in my mum and dad's back garden holding pads and PTing. And then now I'm boxing on Misfits. I'm flying around the world. I'm doing work for the Saudis. I got the chance to be out in LA, like a couple of trips to Saudi. Well, not a couple, quite a few trips to Saudi Arabia now and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, I think when you're level-headed and you put things into perspective, that's a great way of lifting yourself back up when things are shit. Do you know what I mean? So it's good, man. It's good. Glad to see you on the stage. You're on now, bro. No one deserves it more. I remember all the convos that we had about it. Yeah. Yeah, man. It is good. It is good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I knew you'd be there, though, innit? Of course, bro. I remember you from young, man, as long as I can remember. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, Jordan. Me and Jamie, well, if you think, how much younger are you than Jamie? Me and Jamie have been good mates since we were like, what, 12, 13? So, yeah. From probably when me and Jamie have been good mates from when you were like 6? Something like that. Proper nice to see your boys congratulating you on your success. Yes, thank you, bro. Thank you. What camera do I use? I use a Sony A6600. People, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna answer questions now for the rest of the chat. Send in random stuff because I can't even be bothered at the moment to talk about football. Sorry. But I'll do it tomorrow when we speak about Chelsea. So if I get some random shit in there, then I definitely will do... Right. Message from my coach. Voice note. Need to play it.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Just make sure you don't go mad. Like last time you went out the other night, you're asleep in the morning. Just when it fucking training, just can't get asleep. You know what I mean? Give me sleep.
Yes. Get in. Get in. Should I just be honest and tell you, right, what that's about? Basically, Chelsea, Thursday night, second leg against Legia Warsaw, right? Jet Set Hospitality have put me up with tickets, and obviously I thought I was fighting on Saturday, so I sorted it out ages ago, and they've put me up with hospitality tickets for the game, right? And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, when the fight got pushed back, I had tickets for Legia Warsaw on Thursday. I still have 2 tickets. Sorry, before you start asking, I've already promised them to other mates. But I have 2 tickets for Chelsea against Fulham on Sunday, right? And I'm not going to take the piss and say to fucking my coach, look, can I go to both games? Because I can't have the 2 days off training. But I said to him, because normally we do Thursday night, and I said to him, oh, look, like, I've got tickets for Chelsea, like, do you know what I mean? I'll behave myself, I'll go up there, I won't go mad, won't get too smashed until you see me on Chelsea Fan TV, smashed. I'm joking. No, like, obviously I don't drink in camp, do you know what I mean? So, to put it into perspective, I drunk this weekend. I had probably about 20 pints over the weekend, right? This weekend just gone. I drunk because I found out that the fight was postponed for 6 weeks or whatever. Now, normally, 6 weeks out from a fight, I wouldn't be drinking. But you've got to think, I haven't had a drink before that in like 8 weeks where I've done a whole camp. Do you know what I mean? So then it's like, oh, well, fucking hell. It will be like not having a drink in fucking 14, 16 weeks or whatever it would have been. No. 14 weeks, right? What it would have been. So I'm like, I'm having a drink, right? But I'd already put these 2 things. And with the Chelsea-Fulham match, I was happy to be like, do you know what? I do a live stream for it. I won't go up there, and it is what it is. But I really wanted to go to the Chelsea Legia Warsaw game, and you lot might say, why? Like, Fulham's an away day. It's a way more important game. I really wanted to go to this one because I was being put up by Jet Set Hospitality. They'd sorted me out with the tickets and I had given them my word. Whereas I had just bought the tickets for the Fulham game off fucking Matty Dav and another power mine up Chelsea, right? So it was fine, like, do you know what I mean? But Jet Set Hospitality are a proper company. You want to look good, you know, whatever. So I wanted to go to the game, and then I sent him a voice note and I was like, look, do you reckon I can go to the game? And basically, the first bit of it was this.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Just make sure you don't go mad like last time. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just make sure you don't go mad like last time you went out the other night.
He don't go mad, yeah. So he basically knows. He knows that when I go out to the fridge, I like to have a drink. Do you know what I mean? But he said, yeah, that'd be all right. You can go up there. Just don't go mad. So, yeah, sweet. I'll be at Chelsea against Legia Warsaw. That'd be good fun. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be a good one. Yeah, let me see. Let me see if my pal's still coming Chelsea with me. I don't think the big dog is going up there. Sorry, I'm just texting Brian. I want to do a few boxing videos this week with Brian. Who do you think wins? Joey Knight versus Brock Lesnar? Oh, I think it's a close one. I do think that's a close one. Does anyone remember Zach Gowen, the wrestler with one leg, and Brock Lesnar threw him down the stairs? That was a bit much. That wouldn't happen nowadays, would it? Fuck me. Where would you go next on holiday somewhere? Where would I go next on holiday somewhere? It's so boring, but I just want to go to Tenerife because Tenerife's my place that I love and I'm happy. If I could go, I'd love to go to Thailand, but I can't because I've got a daughter and I've got a son on the way. So I can't go to Thailand because it's like, you can't go to Thailand and not go for like 3-4 weeks, really. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't, my daughter's 3.5, but I couldn't leave her for a month. I couldn't leave her for 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, man. 2 weeks would be hard to leave my daughter. And then, yeah, you know, I've got a son on the way, so it is what it is. Let me text Brian. You have time to do an hour. What do we use? Riverside. Slacked. I'm telling Brian that I've been slacking my boxing channel on YouTube. He'll do it. He'll do it. How did Josh get the nickname the Big Dog? I don't know. I can't remember ever doing it, but all I would assume or imagine would be like, you know, when usually I'd go, oh, right, yep, and here to discuss it all with me is my friend Josh Aveste, whatever. But one day I must have said, my friend Josh Aveste, the Big Dog, or something like that. And then the chat, it was more so the chat. So it's like the Big Dog more so come from the chat, come from the comments. The hardcore more so come from the comments. Like, I didn't really make it up. Do you know what I mean? That actually came from, I just basically referred to the subscribers as the hardcore, right? So I said like these lot, but like the hardcore. And that don't mean the subscribers, by the way. The subscribers aren't the hardcore. And I'm not saying you're not hardcore if you're not a subscriber, but what I'm saying is the hardcore, i.e. there's 20,000, there's 112,000 of you, right, subscribed, but there's 25,000 odd of you, yeah, who are the hardcore, as in, like, I know for a fact you don't miss a video, and obviously you got to think this because I go to Chelsea matches and I bump into you and you all say to me, there's literally been thousands of people at Chelsea games that say to me, like, I watch all your videos and whatever. They're the hardcore. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be people at Chelsea games and whatnot. But yeah, I must have said, you lot, the hardcore, like whatever. And then Josh went, if you're part of the hardcore, just comment, I like it hardcore in the comment section. And then the comment section went mad with I like it hardcore, and then it just stuck. And the big dog just stuck. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Jordan Bailey, my chat must be well slow. Yeah, would have been about 6, bro. Much love, Joey. I will always support your channel and stuff you're doing with Josh. Is top quality, bro. Keep it up. Thank you very much, bro. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. The channel, the Joey and Josh channel is doing sick. It's doing sick. It's finally at a point where it's making a good profit now, and we're like, you know, we're in a good position now. We probably start taking on brand deals soon and stuff like that. It's sick. Yeah, I'm really opening up on this one, I don't know. Fucking hell, should keep things more to myself. Hey Joey, big fan. Any advice in life in general? Laggy, ask me something and I will give you advice on it. But life in general is really hard because all I'm going to be able to do is give you cliches, aren't I? All I can do is give you cliches. Like, you know, I don't know, just random things people have said to me. But advice on life, I can't give you advice on life, right? But I will tell you a quote that I think is very fitting in life. I got loads. Roll the dice being one of them, because nothing good ever happened to me about a gamble. But my best friend James was told a quote by his granddad that was, memories are better than dreams. So yeah, interpret that how you will, but memories are better than dreams. That's something that I like. That's something that I like. And then you just, I suppose, interpret it. Yeah, you will. Internet Mugs Part 3. Internet Mugs Part 3, yeah. Could happen. But do you know what it is? I feel like with the Joey and Josh channel, we're getting so much success off of the true crime stuff that it's really hard to then not just prioritize doing the true crime stuff, because as soon as you taste that bit of the numbers going up, and like I felt it on Joey and Josh, I felt like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, like this is a good channel, and more prep is going into this than has to go into football. And there's a very simple reason why, yeah. Football is a matter of opinion, and true crime has an element of a matter of opinion, yeah, and a matter of perception, but then it has the facts, and you need to know the facts. And with football, yeah, I'm not who's a Statman Dave on YouTube. I'm not one of them that's reading off football stats and facts and whatever. I go on opinion and emotion. So I can just sit here and talk about football after I've watched a game while I'm watching a game with you guys on camera. Whereas with true crime, there comes a lot of prep that you need to do, a lot of stuff that you need to do to prep on the videos. So we've been putting loads of work in, not getting the output that I feel we deserve, or not getting, at least, I don't know, like, you know, losing money on it because we're paying an editor and stuff like that. And just, I don't know, I just thought we'd be able to build more of an audience. And then 3 months in, it's just taken off. It's taken off on TikTok, taken off on YouTube, and it's doing really well. And when I say taken off, I'm only on about ranging from 15 to like 40,000 views or whatever. But what I'm saying is it's now gaining its own fan base, and that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing. So, yeah. On a level, going through a terrible breakup, but the podcasts are top notch and a great distraction. Well, firstly, sorry, mate, that you're going through a breakup. Never easy. Can't say I've never shed a tear or two over a woman in my life, but I've never really been through a proper breakup, don't think. Because breakup suggests, don't take offence, breakup suggests they've broken up with you. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like, no, it doesn't, I'm wrong, but what I'm saying is the breakups that I've been through are, I've broke up with the girl. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like when you break up with the girl, it's not, you know, you don't, I feel like you get over it quicker because it was your decision to end it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I have been broken up with once, with the mother of my daughter, and I was broke up with her for about 2 weeks, and it really didn't look like we were going to get back together. This is before we had my daughter, and yeah, I had a bit of heartbreak in that time. So yeah, it's not nice, it's horrible, but I'm glad that the podcasts are distracting you, and don't worry, mate, you get through it. You will get through it. Like, I can't. Yeah, you will. You will. Yeah. Loads of my mates. One of my best mates and his missus was like one of my best mates as well, because she was his missus and we were really close and whatnot. They broke up, and they were together for like 8 years or whatever. 8 years, something like that, from like 20 to like 28, something like that. And I remember thinking, like, oh, my God, like, because she broke up with him. And I remember thinking, like, oh, my God, this is going to be awful for him to get over and whatnot. And, mate, it was just like, I couldn't believe it. Just over it within, like, a couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it'll happen quickly for you, mate. And you'll be sweet. You'll be all right. Big up Joey Knight. Get this dub on the 16th. Yes, L Rob, always in here. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna be getting the win on the 16th. I'm gonna put on a fucking masterclass. Listen, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Do you believe in Enzo Maresca? I always answer with the same thing on it. I believe in him with the quality of what we are ready to recruit and will recruit as a club. Because to be a manager that manages Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti, and to be a manager that manages Chelsea, very, very different with what you have to expect from one of those managers. And do you know where I'm talking about? I'm talking about from an ownership and a boardroom level. Very different, right? Because a Carlo Ancelotti will not be a yes man, and he will not, he'll not have his takers taken away to prioritise the bigger picture, and the bigger picture being something that involves work with Strasbourg and, I don't know, getting different things, whatever. A Carlo Ancelotti will go in there, Jose Mourinho will go in there and say, nah, I want this player, go out and get him, or nah, I'm not playing that player, whatever, or nah, I'm not having half of my squad as being players that aren't going to be used and half my squad out of Strasbourg. I will pick exactly who is here, every single man. So I'm not going to rate Maresca by them standards. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm not going to rate Maresca by them standards. So then when I answer, do I believe in him? I believe in him in terms of being... I believe in him the same way as probably like Arsenal fans... Oh, I don't know. It got quite bad for them. I was about to say the way Arsenal fans believed in Arteta, they got behind him quickly because he won a trophy quickly. But then it did get bad for him before it got good. Like, they had a few low finishes. And even one finish when they were, like, odds on for top 4 and bottled it. And there's a chance Maresca might get us top 4 this season. Do you know what I mean? And then look at how Arsenal fans now view Arteta. So I'm kind of, from a very optimistic way, that's why I'm like, yeah, I believe in him. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I still would have rather probably have had Pochettino, like, not sacked him. But I don't know. We look brilliant at the start of the season. What's your go-to meat if going out for a carvery or a Sunday roast? It's a great question. It would be chicken over beef, like at the Toby Carvery, but I tell you what, mate, over anything, a lamb shank. I fucking love a lamb shank, like a slow cooked, soft, purple off the bone, slides off the bone. Oh my God. And do you know what, my mate, right, this would be good. My mate does a cooking page, right? He's on TikTok. He's got a cooking page. And he is the best cook I know. I always answer the question with James's lobster mac and cheese. When anyone ever asks me what my death row meal would be. James. Hello, where are you? At home? You're on live? I'm on live. Are you watching? Ah. Nah, I didn't see it. But anyway, listen, What is your what's your TikTok handle?
What's that, mate?
What?
Like my name?
Yeah.
Jimmy Can Cook, I think with a 0.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to look it up then if it's that. Hold on, let me look. So people, anyway, Jimmy. Nah, not with with a 0. Jimmy Can Cook with a 0. Follow that up on TikTok. But even if you just type in Jimmy Can Cook, just type in Jimmy Can Cook and it will come up. It's like a cartoon of a bloke cooking a thing. It'll come up. Oh yeah, I'm on this stream. I'll ring you in a bit.
Yeah.
Sweet, bruv. Cool. Yeah, just type in Jimmy Can Cook with a 0. And this is James that I always bang on about. He's the best cook that I've ever had in my life. And he's just started up doing a cooking page on TikTok. I think he might be doing it on Instagram as well, but he's just started doing it up on TikTok. And I look at these cooking pages, like, as a content creator, yeah, of course, like, I came in as a Chelsea content creator, but I'm looking at all of it. Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm now doing the true crime, because I'd come up loving Brian's podcasts. Like, long before I ever met Brian, I used to love his podcasts. Like, I've probably watched his podcast on Madeline McCann about 20 times. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've probably watched his podcast, him and Lawrence, that I Love You Now Die or something. That one loads of times. The kidnapping of Emily Smart. All of these I used to watch, right? So I had an interest in it. But as soon as I see my pal was like really good at saying, I remember thinking, you should monetize that. Like, put it on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't want to do the in front of camera type stuff. But then I started looking at these TikTok pages. Mate, food TikTok pages have fucking hundreds of thousands of followers. You can be making bread in your kitchen and in your TikTok account. So, yeah, everyone, please do me a favour. If you're part of the hardcore, follow Jimmy Can Cook. 0. It's got a 0 on the end. But the picture, it won't show you if I hold it to camera now. But the picture, it's like cartoon blonde fella cooking. So, yeah, that's it. Either way. But, people, I need to do... Mr. Tom just followed him. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, I need to do some work. And I'm doing work, technically, right now. But not really. I need to do some actual work, edit up some shorts for Joey and Josh, because that's smashing it on the TikTok now. We was on like 2,000 subscribers a month ago, and now we are on 21,500. And 1 month ago, we were on 2,000. That's mad, isn't it? So, yeah. Need to go and do a bit of work over there. People, it was good to speak to you all. I'm not going to be doing a live stream tomorrow for the Chelsea against Ipswich match because it's just too hard to watch. I need to watch it on TV behind me. But that means you'll get a better and more